Well, guess who won this battle, huh? Remember this document? Eee! I win the battle against myself. Marina Bajszar here. Finally, all the paperwork's done. And this whole battle against myself, I wanted to say something about this because today I had a client session, and it really became clearer and clearer to me, anyway, in this point in my life, what this really means to be in battle with yourself. What does self-forgiveness mean? Forgiveness in general. So the way I look at it, you can really break things down very, very simply. We have this inner world. And this inner world is all these sensations and pictures and sounds and whatever it is. And then we try to label, like when something comes up that we're uncomfortable with, we try to label it. And also share it with others and say, I'm feeling this thing. It's almost like we're asking for validation, that it's okay to feel the way we do. So we have all these stories around why we feel the way we do, when really what we could do is just feel them and fully allow ourselves to feel them, and not even have to put a label or an external language on them, because if you think about it, words are very limiting. Like, how do you describe a sensation that's rising your stomach through your throat, or you start feeling red in your face, or you have this tension in your shoulder or pain in your back? And you say the word pain, and for some people pain feels a certain way, and other people, like some people will imagine dullness, and other people will imagine a sharpness. So again, we have this language that we use to communicate with each other what our experiences are. But the funny thing is how us humans, we try to argue about whose reality, whose version of the story is correct, when it comes to politics or issues in the world of what's right and wrong to do. And I'm being very vague here, I know, but the point I'm trying to make is, with this internal battle. So here we are. We have some kind of conflict that we're feeling, whether it's someone making us angry, or it really feels like someone else is making us angry, which is a very disempowering feeling, because who is feeling the anger? You are. And then you blame that person for making you feel that way, when really you are creating those sensations in your body based on your perception of what's going on. And most likely that perception came from somewhere else in the past. At some point in your life, someone rejected that feeling, or someone rejected a behavior in you and said, that is not okay, that is not lovable. So let's say you as a kid got really angry and stubborn. I was told as a 2-year-old I was a very stubborn little girl, and this was considered to be a negative trait. Now if I think about this and I see stubborn children, my view of that is, wow, they have a strong will, that's a really positive thing. But imagine a stubborn little child, a 2-year-old child that's kicking and screaming and does not want what you want. Can you still love that child? Of course you can. Their behavior is not what defines your love for them. But at some point, I believe as children, we pick that up as, my behavior, my feeling is rejected, and therefore I am rejected. Therefore I'm not okay, and I'm not good. And these feelings that are rising up in me, they should be rejected. And so we carry this as a how-to, and we start rejecting ourselves, because throughout our lives, I think a lot of people go through this natural development. Whether they are going through spiritual seeking or not, I think naturally people realize that first, they blame the world outside of them, and then they start blaming themselves. Inner world, outer world, it's all the same. And so here you are left with all these feelings and sensations, and you're feeling like, I'm always angry all the time. And it feels like it's not okay. So it's like a double layer now of, one is you feel this discomfort, this first level of feeling of anger that you rejected. And two, you feel bad about feeling angry. So now you've got the judgment layer on top of that. So it's like you're almost parenting yourself. You take that over because that's what you learned from them. And really when it comes all down to it, how do you get out of all that? You can't argue, logic, think your way out of these things, because then you're just adding another layer of analysis and another layer of complexity, when really all it comes down to is, can you accept these feelings, sensations, thoughts, pictures, sounds, images, tastes, anything that's rising up in your inner world, which is your inner internal language, can you accept these things rising up in you as just that they are there, without rejecting them, without trying to change them, labeling them as bad or good, but just allowing them to be there? Because I think that that allowing is pure loving. It's just a focus, an attention, no desire to change anyone or anything, even yourself. You just allow yourself to feel these things. And guess what? The moment you allow it, the deep anger, the deep rejection, the deep fear or hatred, self-hatred comes up often for people as a deep layer that's very, very difficult to deal with. I went through it myself a couple times, of this absolute deep, deep dark hatred is what it felt like. Can you allow yourself to feel it? Can you allow yourself to let it burn through you? And then it's gone. Because here's the thing, it's like we weave these stories around it because we're so afraid of these feelings, and we have to justify why they're there, because we have to kind of make it okay somehow. But if the more stories we weave around it, the more complexity we weave around it. And really it's as simple as, can you love this too? Can you love that feeling? Loving is just allowing, accepting. Can you let it just happen? Can you let these feelings and sensations rise up in you without even having to dig for where they came from? Without even trying to find where they came from? And when you do have pictures, images, and sounds come up, or sensations, and you have memories, specific memories come up, allowing them to be there. And allowing yourself to feel as if you were back there one last time. And then you're free of it, because you've accepted it and allowed it. And isn't that acceptance and allowance true self-forgiveness? You know, no matter what people did to you in the past, you're holding that inside yourself now, you're replaying it somehow. And replaying it could be just a feeling, an emotion that you keep feeling. If you allow yourself to fully feel that and not reject it, not reject anger, sadness, hatred, but just let yourself feel those feelings, because they're just things you're labeling. Okay, so I was just interrupted by a very, very good parking attendant man who, while in the middle of my video, he just interrupted me, and it was really interesting. He seemed very agitated that I was telling him to please wait a moment, and I just got back in my car, and it's amazing. So it's a perfect practice of, okay, he's gone now, it's not real anymore. Do I let this agitate me? Do I let the fact that I made him not do his job well, or he was about to give me a ticket or something, worry me, stress me, feel a little anxiousness in my chest? Or do I wish him a good day and say, you know, thanks for doing your job? Which is what I did. Can I forgive me for the feelings that rise up and the resistance that I'm feeling? Forgiving me means allowing it, allowing these feelings to be there. It's amazing how afraid we are of our emotions. At least I know I've been through that, and it's amazing how empowering it is when you don't reject anything that rises, anything that you think, any ugly thoughts that may raise up, and then you judge yourself for them. It's amazing how freeing that is, that you can just let it be there, turn inwards, notice the inside language of your body, which never lies to you. Take a few deep breaths, and let them be there. Can you do that? Can you give yourself that? Can you trust yourself that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling? Can you love yourself enough to allow yourself to just be as you are? That's where transformation happens. Thanks for listening. Bye. Oop, gotta go. Just a moment. So,
Are you parking?
no, I'm leaving. I'll be leaving.